Greetings and salutations to you all once again. It is me, the Ravenous Spectre, and we got another pickups video here today. Got a lot of great deals that I've been finding at Goodwills. I think it's mainly Goodwills. Yeah, it's mainly Goodwills. And there's also an outlet store, as a matter of fact, that I ended up getting something from that I want to share with you that I actually got for $2.99 when the original price was like $14.99. Been one of those items that I really have been wanting to check out, but didn't really know too much about, or whether it would be good or bad or what have you. So I'll go ahead and share that one first, considering I was talking about that one first. That was going to be the last one, but what the heck, we'll go ahead and make that the first one. And that is the Guinness World Records Gamers Edition of 2017. As you can see, I got a little napkin right here marking where I left off at. But, excuse me. Anyways, always been wondering exactly what type of stuff was in these things, if you will. There's been a lot of Guinness books that's been out, Guinness Book of World Records and things like that, over many different topics, many different other world records and whatnot, but never had checked out one of these. For $2.99, I couldn't go wrong. And some of the things that I've read so far, I had no idea that they even existed or what they were about, which is actually kind of interesting. So for what I've seen so far, I don't regret any my purchasing decision, obviously. I wouldn't have paid $14.99 for it, but that's just me. Because I saw it previously at like a Barnes & Nobles or Books A Million or something like that, and I was like, I'd like to get it, but not at that price. But when I found it at the outlet store for that price, yeah, I was like, yep, definitely going to be jumping in on that. So I'll just do a quick run through here. Even though you can't read anything that's being shown at all, you can just look at some pretty pictures as they flip past. Yeah, so if you guys want to check it out, see where you might be able to find it at and give it a look-see. I don't really know how many other ones that they have had previously from this. Honestly, I don't know when they started doing the Guinness World Records for games or anything like that, but I'll have to look into that at some point. I believe I actually did see a 2016 version or 2015 version, a couple years back, but never really got deep into knowing if there was more of them. But anyways, the next one we have here isn't a game, but it's a soundtrack based off of a game, and that is Starcraft 2. Wings of Liberty. Got this for like $2 at Goodwill. The disc is in really good condition as well, as you can see right there. Really good condition. Might not be in good condition. I know it still is. It's fine. I was trying to take it out, and it was kind of falling out of my hands there. So, yeah, I was like, what? Don't want that to happen. But anyways, one of the songs off of here, I guess one of the pieces of music, I guess you could say, I actually had gotten off of iTunes like months ago, and I really did like it. But when I found this for $2 at Goodwill and knowing it was in really good condition, I'm pretty sure this ended up coming with a special collector's edition or something of StarCraft 2. I know there's got to be other soundtracks out there for it, because since StarCraft was pretty much separated into 3 different games, it's Wings of Liberty, I believe, was like the first one that it came out with dealing with the Terrans. And so, yeah, haven't really listened to it yet except for just a couple songs on it, but definitely going to give it a listen. I wouldn't put it on my iPod, so I'll be listening to it in my car and, while I'm out walking or whatever. But, yeah, I was surprised when I found this. I was like, dang. I was like, got to grab it up, because I love video game music. I always have. Video game music, to me, is more powerful than movie music is, movie soundtracks are. At least from my experience from movies that I've heard when it comes to putting it between games and movies, there's a lot of powerful movie soundtracks out there as well, like Lord of the Rings. Of course, I was going to say that. Or like Gladiator, Braveheart, stuff like that. Of course, I'm talking about epic movies here, because that's like one of the main types of soundtracks I go for is epic. So it would make sense for me to say that. But the next one that we have here is Digimon World Next Order. And for what I've heard, this game has got polarizing reviews. It's gotten good ones. It's got bad ones. I got it for $15 at GameStop. I've been waiting for it to go on sale for a long while now. And when I found it at that price, I was like, well, seems like a good time for me to actually jump on it and give it a shot. So that's exactly what I did. And for what I've experienced so far, it seems like it's pretty cool. It kind of brings in the aspect of like, the Tamagotchis, the little eggs that you would have back in the 90s for raising a virtual pet. It has some of those aspects in it where you have to take it to the toilet, you have to feed it, you have to make sure it gets rest, and you train it and stuff like that, and it evolves over time, so on and so forth, and grows up and things like that. It implements those inside of it, but it has that RPG kind of mixture into it as well. But the thing is that when you end up getting into battles, you don't actually actively take control of your Digimon like you would in like a turn-based RPG kind of thing, like what you would do in Cyber Sleuth, or the newest one that came out, I think it was called Hacker's Memory or something like that. But I think it's actually kind of interesting because you're really actually, I guess, like forming a relationship with your Digimon, and you're cheering them on as they're going into battle. But as they're evolving, they're gaining these other powers and whatnot. And there's different skills that your tamer, which is who you are in the game, gets that you utilize to actually help your Digimon out as well as yourself as you level up and go on and so on and so forth. But yeah, I've heard that the game can be kind of grindy, but I'm going to go ahead and give it more of a shot to see if it kind of really is that for me. It kind of felt that way at one point, but I'm going to keep going with it and see how it goes for me. But overall, still a good price for a rather interesting game. The next one that we have here is Armored Core 4 for PS3. I never had gotten into the Armored Core series. I seen a friend of mine play some back when I was at a university years back, and also a couple other friends of mine, local friends of mine back where I used to live, had kind of been into the Armored Core series and talked to me some about it. I have, I think, maybe 1 or 2 games in the Armored Core series on top of this one, but I got them like really cheap. Like I think I probably got those at Goodwill as well. But yeah, everything that you've seen so far, well, actually not everything you've seen so far. This is actually, well, the Starcraft soundtrack and this one I got from Goodwill. And the next 3 I'm going to show, which is, that's going to be the last 3 I'm going to show for this video, came from Goodwill as well, and I got them today. But there's been pros and cons with the Armored Core series, so I've heard some good and bad about this as well. But it's just like always, when it comes to games, everybody has their opinions. But I'm definitely going to get down and checking this out at some point. And yeah, I got this at Goodwill. It was in good condition as well. And the next 3 that I got here were also in good condition, which, by the way, the next 3 came complete, and this one also came complete also because, you know, sometimes you'll end up going into these places and you'll be like, oh, I wonder if it's complete, or I wonder how the discs are. So, yeah, but the next one I got here I never heard of, but I wanted to give it a shot. It's called Murakumo Renegade Mech Pursuit on the original Xbox. Looks like one I didn't even know this one existed, but for like $5, I was like, I definitely want to check it out and see how it is. Seems like one of those high-flying, crazy mech action-adventure kind of titles from what I see on the back here. But yeah, for $5, I was like, maybe it's like a rare title, and that's one reason that I've never really heard of it or know what it's about. So I said, I'm going to go ahead and jump on it and see how it is and see what's up with it. Especially at that price, you know, I couldn't go wrong, especially for really trying to give it a decent shot. But I'm actually going to go online and look up some gameplay footage as well, and then go ahead and dive into it and check it out myself. But yeah, obviously this one was complete as well, and I ended up checking the disc. Make sure I checked the disc on all these before I even bought them. And the next 2 that we have here are actually part of a series, and we need another game in this series so bad, and that is The Suffering. I have The Suffering here and The Ties That Bind. I'll go ahead and show it too, since they're both in the same series. Both of these games are crazy. They're action-adventure horror titles, if you will, which actually, yeah, that's what they are. I had the first one on PlayStation 2. I really did like it. I got pretty far into it. I don't know what happened to me to cause me just to get off of it, but I ended up selling it. This was years ago for some freaking reason. And I don't know why I sold it, but I had been wanting to get it back for the longest time, and all the prices that I had seen for them seemed like they were just a little too high for me for both of these. So when I found that this was $5, even though it's not on PS2, even though I'm mainly like a PlayStation kind of guy, I was like, it doesn't matter anymore. I was like, if I can find the game, whatever console it's on, if I have the console and it's at a really good price, then I'm going to go ahead and pick it up, you know, plain and simple. So anyways, definitely a really good series. Don't know why we don't have another one, especially knowing how technology is nowadays, man, and especially knowing how big that the survival horror genre is, if you will, action horror genre, which I guess they could be like 2 different things, is nowadays, especially with today's technology. Imagine end up having a new game in this series with today's tech. I mean, it would be insane. It would make you shit and piss yourself and scream like a little girl at a little teeny bopper concert, if you will. But anyways, yeah, but never had actually played the second one. I've seen it in action. I've seen footage of it, but I've never gotten around to playing it myself. So I think really what I'm going to do is play through the first one, then go into the second one. I know that sounds rather stupid, but the fact is I think your game save carries over to the second one, and it affects the story in this, or it affects the way it starts, or the endings, or something like that, because there's like multiple endings, I believe, in these games. I think there's like maybe 3 different endings or something like that. But anyways, yeah, definitely going to get back to trying these out again. I can't remember how far I got into this one. I know I got outside of the prison that you're in, around the grounds where that is, but I honestly cannot remember. And as for this one, I have no freaking clue, so this is going to be a huge surprise to me. Of course, it's also complete as well. Good God, I'm getting out of the freaking camera here for crying out loud. Oh shit, it fell out! Damn dumb son of a bitch! Well, it went underneath the table there, so I'm gonna go get that. I don't know how in the hell that just fell out when I was opening up. I guess I did it too fast. It's fine though. It's okay. It's laying flat. Nothing happened to it. Lord willing. But yeah. Anyways, but I just want to go ahead and do a little pickups video and do a little chit chat about this and so on and so forth. And I need to get my disc underneath my table. So I will go ahead and I will end this like I always do. Later, taters, and pray to God that the disc isn't messed up. Pretty sure it's not, because yeah, that would be bad. Adios.